members of your head table. My name is Troy Clarkson, and I am not sitting at the head table. But here's who is. He was born in Boston, Massachusetts, and was raised in Somerville, Mass. He graduated from Norwich University, the military college of Vermont, in 1997 with a BA in history. He then attended the Marine Corps boot camp at Paris Island, graduating in 1997 and reported to his platoon with the 25th Marines. He was a drilling reservist until 2001. During this time, he attended the New England School of Law in Boston, Massachusetts, and graduated with a JD in 2000. He's a very busy guy. He then entered the seminary to become a Roman Catholic priest in 2001 and was ordained for the Archdiocese of Boston in May of 2007. He's the pastor of Tri-Parishes. Please welcome Father Matt Westcott. He grew up in Marshfield, Massachusetts, graduating from Marshfield High in 1984, graduated from the University of Massachusetts at Amherst with a Bachelor of Arts in 1988. He graduated from Suffolk University Law School with a JD. In 1991, he served as an assistant district attorney for the Plymouth County DA from 1996 until 2004, and since 2004, he has been your High Sheriff of Plymouth County. Please welcome the Honorable Joe McDonald. He grew up in West Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Today lives in Marshfield with his wife. He has 2 adult children. He graduated from West Bridgewater High School, Boston College with a BA, attended Suffolk University Law School where he earned his JD. He was the State Ballot Law Commissioner from 1996 to 2001, and since 2001, he has been your District Attorney. Please welcome the Honorable Tim Crew. Up in Situate and Kingston. He lives today in Marshfield with his wife Suzanne and his children. He graduated from Silver Lake Regional High School, went to College of the Holy Cross, but then he redeemed himself and went to Boston College Law School. He served as an assistant district attorney from 2002 to 2012, was on the Marshfield School Committee from 2006 to 2010, the Marshfield Board of Selectmen from 2010 to 2016. Since 2015, he has served honorably as your Plymouth County Register of Probate. Please welcome Matt McDonough. He was raised in Abington, although he considers himself a true Brocktonian. He was the son of Jack and Betty Buckley, along with 2 brothers and 1 sister. He and his wife live in Situate today, although they were longtime citizens of the city of Champions. They have 3 children and 2 grandchildren. He also attended Boston College, High School, Phillips Exeter Academy, and Tufts University. After Tufts, he was a legislative assistant to Congressman Brian Donnelly, Director of Public Affairs for the Metro South Chamber of Commerce, assistant to Mayor Carl Pitaro of Brockton, served as an assistant city solicitor in the city of Brockton, was a Plymouth County Commissioner, and for the last 28 years has been your Plymouth County Register of Deeds. Please welcome the Honorable John Buckley. He has served as Brockton's Ward 6 City Councilor for 10 years, including a year as council president. He is still the youngest councilor ever elected in Brockton. He's fought hard on issues such as infrastructure, public safety, and fiscal responsibility. After 10 years on the council, he is still the youngest councilor currently serving. Born and raised in Brockton, he has a degree in political science from Bridgewater State University. Full-time, he works as a sales rep for Davenport Associates. Please welcome your city councilor, Jack Lally. A lifetime Brocktonian, he graduated from Brockton High School, the class of 1974. He attended Boston University, which we're not thrilled about, then spent nearly 40 years in sales and sales management. He served 10 years on the Brockton Housing Authority. His last 6 years as chairman, he was elected to the Brockton City Council in 2004. He served as Ward 1 City Councilor until March of 2021. His peers elected him council president 3 times. He was appointed the assistant city clerk in May of 2021 and elected as city clerk in October of 2021. My friend and your city clerk, please welcome the Honorable Tim Cruz. She grew up in Brockton and continues to live in Brockton with her husband Paul, a Brockton firefighter, her stepchildren Mitchell and Carolyn, and 2 rambunctious rescue dogs. She graduated from Fontbonne Academy and Providence College. She was chief of staff for longtime Representative Jerry Cassidy, and since January 2025, she has served as your state representative. Please welcome the Honorable Bridget Close. He was born and raised in Brockton, Massachusetts, the son of Robert and Susan Sullivan, and grew up on Wellington Street in Ward 2. He attended Brockton Public Schools and graduated from Brockton High School in 1988. He earned his BA and MBA from Boston College and his JD at the New England School of Law. Prior to being elected mayor in 2019, he served on the Brockton City Council and as councilor at large since 2006. He was elected by his colleagues to serve as the City Council President 5 times. He's been a board member of the Good Sam Medical Center, St. Joseph Manor Nursing Home, and the Brockton Historical Society. He volunteers with youth sports, and he's married to Maria Louise Sullivan, who also grew up in Brockton, and together they have 3 wonderful children. Ladies and gentlemen, your current mayor, the Honorable Robert Sullivan. Finally, your master of ceremonies for this evening. With more than 30 years of combined experience in local, county, and state government, he brings a diversified background in business and charitable public service to his role as a 4th-term Plymouth County Commissioner. For the past 25 years, he's held a number of elected and appointed positions, including Quincy City Councilor, Chairman of the Board of Selectmen in Pembroke, and he served a term as the town manager in the town of Dracut, Massachusetts. I think that means he just moves around a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your county commissioner, my dear friend, and your master of ceremonies, the Honorable Gregory Hanley. Thank you to the Brockton Firefighters Fife and Drum Corps.
Pipes and drums.
Pipes and drums. It is now my honor to introduce to you tonight our special guests and our award winners. They will be led in by representatives of the Ancient Order of Hibernians, who are led by their president, Michael Schilling, and their vice president, Michael Faut. Escorting them is the chair of our host committee. I will first introduce him for you. He's a graduate of Xaverian Brothers High School in the class of 1997 and Colby College, class of 1974. He's married to Jane Callahan, and together they've raised 4 daughters here in Brockton. After 40 years of living in Bridgewater, Bill and Jane sold their house, and son-in-law David and their 2 grandsons. Now Bill and Jane are residing in Brockton with their daughter Ann, contemplating their next move. He's been a real estate broker for 39 years and is past president of the Bristol Board of Realtors and director of the Realtor Association of Southeastern Massachusetts. He served on the Town of Bridgewater Board of Assessors for 6 years, on the Bridgewater Golf Commission for 6 years, and was my favorite town councilor, serving on the Bridgewater Town Council for 2 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Callahan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce our dignitaries and our special awardees for this evening. A native Brocktonian, she was first elected as state representative in 2012, representing Brockton and Easton. She was a staunch advocate for her district. Many of the bills she filed were passed and became law, including bills supporting veterans, people with cancer, and people with disability. She pushed for increasing educational funding, and while in the legislature, she was the first woman to chair the Judiciary Committee. As chair of that committee, she was the architect of major criminal justice and police reform. She went on to become the first woman to be House Majority Leader, and was then nominated by President Joe Biden to serve as the United States Ambassador to Ireland. She was confirmed unanimously by the United States Senate on December 18, 2021, and was sworn in on January 19, 2022. While in Ireland, she hosted President Biden on his 4-day historical visit to Ireland. During her tenure, the ambassador was pivotal in elevating Ireland from the 9th largest foreign director in the United States to the 6th largest investor in the United States in just a 3-year period. As a result of her outreach, record numbers of young Irish people were able to travel to the United States for summer work and travel. She created an Open Doors program, which allowed thousands of Irish students to visit the Deerfield residence in Dublin. Ladies and gentlemen, your Irish Woman of the Year, please welcome Ambassador Claire Cronin. graduate and earned a degree from the Boston College Law School in 1967. He was a member of the Massachusetts House of Representatives from 1968 to 1972, serving the 11th Plymouth District. Between 1974 and 1977, he was a member of the Brockton City Council. He contested his first Massachusetts Senate election in 1996 and won his final state Senate election in 2006. Since 2008, he has served honorably as the clerk of the Plymouth County Superior Court. Please welcome the Honorable Robert Creedon, your Irish Man of the Year. She was first elected to Donegal County Council in 2014 and became Cahéla. I'm 60% Irish and Scottish, so I got that one right, didn't I? In June 2024, she previously worked in the fishing industry with a background in health and safety and administration management. As a small medium enterprise business owner and director, she's considerable interest in the development and promotion of local industry. A former member of Killybegs Community Council, she's been actively involved in all aspects of community life and chaired the liaison committee, which successfully prevented the downgrading of Killybegs Community Hospital. She sits on many boards, and we are pleased and happy to welcome the Honorable Cahéla Neve Kennedy. She serves as the head of economic development with Donegal County Council and leads a dynamic and talented team who work in developing key strategic projects and initiatives that support and enables the economic development of Donegal. Working with key partners, stakeholders, and collaborators both locally and internationally to support the development of key industry sectors and allowing businesses to grow and thrive is central to her approach and to the work of her team. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Anne Marie Conlon. He is the Director of Economic Development, Information Systems, and Emergency Services with the Donegal County Council and is additionally the designated Director of the Donegal Municipal District. That must be quite a big business card to hold all of that. He's also Director of Donegal 2040 Strategic Development Company, a wholly council-owned company established to support ongoing efforts in animating greater economic activity through specific council interventions and collaborations. We're very pleased to have him here with us tonight. Please welcome Gary Martin. Will our distinguished guests and honorees please take your seats?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If we could get settled, we'd like to have you all rise in honor of the Irish national anthem to be sung by Marin O'Shea Kitty.
With Donegal was hiking from Sligo town and nursing school to Bundoran dances. Diva horda bonogui carbreno briver kjover ardent knall godwakato sunspade gamin reltogo O nach van Lorthia portion Haniglo Gatun were gay Le Heidi low Sagunes Heim Suddenly our show Shalif Connie our own Vion Shin a Fiona foil At all fial egeden Wind or slow Hartier the panic wind Fey woods wasser Shanty or shincher faster York for Finty on and off in Troll And knock the Rhine Savarn the well Leg on their whale Humbles no sail Leg on the skrel Is love no blur Charlotte Connie our on the beyond.
Wasn't she good, folks? Oh my goodness. Next up is my old pal. I can't believe he's a doctor, but he is. He doesn't write prescriptions, but he's one hell of a singer. It is my honor to introduce to you to sing our national anthem, Dr. Troy Clarkson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Fantastic. Now it's my great pleasure to introduce a man of God and also a man of Norwich University. They didn't give us a big applause, did they, Father, when they announced those BC guys? But it's my honor to pay tribute to God with this fine young man. If you could, Father, come over and say a blessing.
I invite you all to join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we gather in gratitude and shared purpose, honoring the ties that bind us across nations, cultures, and communities. Tonight, we celebrate the enduring friendship between Ireland and the United States, woven through history, enriched by heritage, and sustained by people of vision and heart. We gather in particular, Lord, remembering Peggy Cruz, who has since gone to her reward, good friend to many in this room, in particular our own Tim Cruz. We give thanks for the presence of Ambassador Claire Cronin, whose dedicated service has strengthened this transatlantic bond and deepened the friendship between our peoples. Her work reminds us of the power of diplomacy, compassion, and integrity in building a better world. We also welcome with joy Mayor Niamh Kennedy of Donegal, a symbol of vibrant Irish leadership and a bridge to our shared future. May her visit be filled with the warmth of connection and the promise of continued partnership. As we begin, may this gathering be blessed with goodwill and generosity of spirit. May our conversations reflect the values we cherish: respect, unity, and hope. And may we leave this place with hearts full and spirits lifted. Let this time together be a tribute to service, to heritage, and to the enduring friendship that spans the ocean and lives on in each of us. I make this prayer in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Please have a seat. beautiful tribute, folks. All right, thank you very much. That is in the memory of Peggy Cruz and Bob Evans Sr., who just recently passed from Evans, Michigan. So thank you very much. How about a round of applause for our band, Jeffrey. Ladies and gentlemen, this band is a premier band, and I just want to say they're not just people who come and play for the money. I just want to point out that the lead singer, Declan Houghton, hails from the island's most northerly parish of Marlin. The Black and Amber. That's where my grandmother came from. So, Declan has been awarded several awards tonight. The Golden Bridges Award, which both John Buckley and I are recipients of. But specifically, he was named Irishman of the Year with the Golden Bridges in recognition of his pediatric cancer fundraising. He has adopted several charities, Tommy's Place and his own daughter's Maggie's Bus charity that works with them. These guys are very busy raising money for others, and they do it for the love of giving back. So I really want to acknowledge the significance of this band being here tonight and actually hailing from the Northwest. So thank you very much. You'll be hearing more from them in a little bit. But this time we're going to have dinner, but while we're waiting, I'm going to invite two Irish steppers up from the Dunleavy Boyle School of Irish Dance. If we can find where Ned and Rachel are. Oh, there you are. Oh, you look like a waitress and a waiter. All right. So Aiden, why don't you guys come back here for 2 seconds? I want to ask you a few questions. My daughter Margaret was an Irish stepper, and she was over in Dublin, West for the All-Ireland, and she finished 8th in the world tour here in Boston. Can you introduce yourself? Because I'm told you're award-winning dancers, so would you mind saying a few words and introducing yourself to the head table and to our guests?
Hi everyone, my name is Rachel, I'm from Hanover. I mean, world champion is very nice, but we're both regional champions of New England. Yep. And we both placed at the World Championships and the National Championships. So.
Hello everyone, I'm Ned. Rachel kind of introduced me with my achievements, but yeah, we're excited to give you guys a good show tonight.
So my words, you know I'm a politician, I exaggerate. I already elevated you to a world champion. Play along with me, okay? We still have to write you the check, so watch out. All right? Aiden, how we doing over there? Folks, enjoy yourself. They're gonna show you a few ditties, right? All right, here we go. Aiden, good crack is what they say. Good crack. Taught him everything he knows. People ask me how I got skinny. You know, all that teaching I do on the Irish step. Great crack. One more, he says. One more. Unless we call for an encore, right? It's another extra 100, right? For Rachel and Ned, folks. Thank you so much. This is a night of faith, family, and friendship, and our Irish culture is on full display tonight, folks. Now's the time we're going to be quiet for a little bit. We're going to let you enjoy yourself in one another's company. We thank you all for starting us off with good Irish fashion, and we'll be back in about a half an hour. Thanks very much.
I'll have two Guinness, and good evening, and for those of you that don't know me, you don't know much. My name is Tim Cruz. Before I do introduce the elected officials, I would like to thank Father Matt and all of you for your kind words tonight. My family and I really appreciate it. I decided to come up and get the introductions going because if we let Hanley run this thing, we'll never get out of here. And we don't have a 2 o'clock liquor license here, so we'll get started. So my job is to introduce the elected officials that are here tonight. And since every one of them is already on the dais, I've got nothing to do, so it's been good to see you. I want to say hello to the people over there. If you paid full price, you would have sat out here. Nice to see you over there. Eddie Jenkins, it was nice of you to come up from near the Cape, but well, thank everybody for being here. It's a great event, it's a great night. Claire and Bobby Creedon, you couldn't honor two greater people. Claire, you'll probably remember when I was over visiting, one of the 4 times that I came to stay with you for free in Ireland. That Irish step dancing, we did that in the kitchen of the Deerfield residence. Don't tell Winston Churchill, he'd roll over in his grave. But now that she's done, we can talk a lot of things about what we did there. And Bobby, great for you to be honored as Irish, just for our Irish guests. Just so you know, the first Irish official he ever met was Eamon de Valera, so that was 1921, Bob. So he thought the Easter uprising was just getting up for church, for noontime church. So we'll just take a minute and thank a few of the people. If I miss you and you're an elected official, just do the Paul Studensky and raise your hand, and you get more. But we do have a few other people too. Also, I'm going to start the order I was writing them earlier. Rich McKinnon from the Firefighters Union. Thank you for being here, our state union. Jim Breton is here to represent Senator Brady. Couldn't be here tonight. Jim will be up here in a minute before I sit down. We have a little presentation we have to make. Brockton City Council, Phil Griffin was here. I believe he had to leave, but Phil Griffin was here. Thank you very much. Former State Rep Rhonda Nyman's over here. Brockton City Councilor, my friends, all these, Shirley Azak is here. Councilor Suna Castro, also been a great friend and supporter of mine. Thank you very much. Mary Walden from the OCPC is here. By the way, any event you go to, you get to say Mary Walden is here. The only person that goes to more things than Senator Brady is Mary. So, Laura Street. The great thing about tonight is a lot of your proceeds are going to the Charity Guild, and they do such great work. So later on, when Mr. Callahan gets up to do the auction, bid them up high. Dottie Fulginetti from the East Bridgewater, the Eastern Board of Selectmen is here. Senator Pacheco is here. He just came in. Representing the Brockton Housing Authority, former Ward 2 Councilor Tom Pluff is here somewhere. He used to be important, now he's just the father of a state rep. Candidate for City Council at Large, Jeffrey Charnell is out here. And Joe Ferrero from the Governor's Council. Is there anybody really important that I missed? Because Greg... Yeah, I didn't miss Barry. Greg told me just introduce anybody that's really important. Cindy Marrow, who runs the city of Brockton, is out here. And the mayor is not running for re-election, so Cindy will be looking for work from this fall. If anybody's looking to hire, no, she won't, but he will, so. I think I got everybody who needed to be introduced that isn't going to be speaking later. Jerry Nadeau, president of Rockland Trust. He'll be bidding them up higher later on. And I also see George County over here, 97 years old, George. Thank you for all you've done for the city. George didn't know when he just waved his hand, that was a $5,000 bid on one of the things we have for later. And I'm sorry. Stephen Prone from the Prone Foundation is also here, who's been a big supporter. Not sure, I didn't see him earlier. Before I sit down and let Greg Hanley take back over and put you to sleep, the last time that I had missed the delegation, this crew of people from Plymouth County went over to Donegal to meet with the delegation who's here tonight. And I got a call at home at about 6 at night, and I looked and it was Jack Lally, and I said, Jack calls me all the time, I let it go to voicemail. And then I remembered, oh, he's in Ireland. And oh my goodness, it's midnight. So I called him right back. I said, Jack, what's up? He says, I think there's going to be an international incident. I said, what are you talking about? He said, Mike Brady's writing a poem for the mayor of Donegal. And I thought, well, that's no big deal. Of course, I hadn't seen the lovely mayor of Donegal again. So he it was such a good poem that the Plymouth County Commissioners have named, excuse me, I want to see, so the list of poets that they brought from Ireland to us, we have Patrick McGill, Seamus Haney, William Butler Yeats, Oscar Wilde, James Joyce. We have Senator Mike Brady. Poet laureate of Plymouth County. Now Michael couldn't be here tonight because he is in Boston working hard, representing you the people. But we do have, Councilor Lally, I believe you have a poem that he sent to you? Senator Brady wrote this poem for tonight.
And I'm reading it because I lost a bet. I should say before I begin that when Senator Brady wrote that poem, Commissioner Hanley was furious, and that's because he was only halfway through his.
It's okay, rookie.
Oh, look at me. All right. A reading from the Book of Brady. We all know the names that shine so bright. Clerk of Courts, Robert Creedon, a guiding light. Ambassador Claire Cronin, with wisdom so rare. Mayor Neve Kennedy, leading with care. That's all he says about you, I promise. Gary Martin, he's written Jerry. Gary Martin and Anne-Marie Conlon too, each of you legends, loyal and true. How I wish I could join in the joy tonight, but I'm in the State House, budget locked tight. Just like the ring in a Rocky Marciano bout, fighting for balance, no room for a knockout. My heart is heavy, my spirit torn, for I cannot be there, though I deeply mourn. So let a friend speak these words I send, with love that will never break or bend. Though I am not with you in body or sight, my thoughts surround you like stars at night. Please don't be annoyed by my absent cheer, for in every beat you are truly near. With a prayer on my lips and joy in the air, I salute you all with a fiery flare. Congratulations, you've earned this applause, with pride in your work and your noble cause. Senator Michael Brady.
If Jim Breton, is Jim still here? Jim Breton, can you come on up and take something? So the Irish delegation we'd like to ask Neve to come up. They have brought Senator Brady a special presentation. We'd like you to accept this and bring it back to the senator who knows, he could be here. Come on up, Jim, so you can, on behalf of Senator Brady.
Please give this to Senator Brady for me, please. As a little gift of his trip to Donegal. I'm not going to read it out, but he can read it and he'll remember. Thank you.
The Irish American Poetry Award.
Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you over to Mr. Hanley.
That's City Clerk Tim Cruz and young Jack Lally, an old spirit trapped in a young body. You're a good man, good man. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get to the formal part of tonight's event. This is a welcome for all of you here tonight as we embark on tomorrow's event, which is the economic development piece of our county agreement between the County of Donegal and the County of Plymouth. Tomorrow is an economic development conference that we've been in the planning stages for the last 6 months. Plymouth County joined forces with Senator Pacheco, and we joined the Transatlantic Climate Alliance Council. And since then, thank you, Mayor. Senator, great job. This is the welcome dinner for that conference, fulfilling our aspect of our agreement. And so with that, we'd like to welcome you to the 2025 Plymouth County Donegal Sister County Transatlantic Climate Alliance Conference, hosted by the Shire Town of the City of Brockton, Mass, starting today, the 21st of May through the 23rd in the City of Champions. I would like to personally thank our host, the Honorable Mayor Robert Sullivan, and the members of the Brockton City Council for affording an opportunity for the County of Plymouth to honor its commitment to an exchange of ideas in friendship and cooperation, of best practices in the area of economic development, culture, and tourism. We hope that our mission will be to the mutual benefit of the inhabitants of County Donegal, Ireland, and the County of Plymouth, Massachusetts, USA, as agreed to in the signing of a historic Sister County Accord at the Donegal Castle in Donegal, Ireland on May 25th, 2023. Our conference begins this evening at this welcome dinner hosted by the Thorny Lea Country Club host committee sponsors. Mr. William Callahan, who is the chair of the committee, graciously sponsored this event through the membership of Mr. John McCluskey, Mr. Robert Creedon, Clerk of the Brockton Superior Court, Your Honorable Timothy Cruz, City Clerk of the City of Brockton. The beneficiaries of this evening's events are the Charity Guild of Brockton, and our Executive Director Laura Strace is here. You'll be seeing and hearing from her in a little bit. And the Ancient Order of Hibernians, Father Murphy Division Number 9, led by President Michael Schilling. Our musical and dance entertainment tonight was provided by the County of Donegal native Declan Houghton, who I spoke about earlier. And while I have you, I'm going to make an announcement that on August 9th, they will have their annual event, which fundraises. It's a cruise of Boston Harbor, and you're all encouraged to join. It is in your program. There's a QR code. And if you want to have a good time for a good cause, they're the band to recognize, because 100% of the money they raise goes back to the charities they support. And I can't say enough about them. We're very honored to have them here tonight. This evening's honorees are being recognized for their outstanding career achievements in public service to their member communities and for their contributions to the success of a collaborative effort of Plymouth County and County Donegal Sister County program. Our featured guests will be honored by the Professional Firefighters of Massachusetts, the Brockton Firefighters Local 144, the Old Colony Planning Council, and the Ancient Order of Hibernians. The evening's highlight will come, however, from the former United States Ambassador to Ireland, the Honorable Ambassador Claire Cronin, who is now retired. You can see that in parentheses because I put that in there. And she has bestowed and is going to present an inaugural award that we hope will continue over the years. And she will bestow and present an award of recognition to our guests in tribute for their participation in the success of our collaboration on the eve of our Economic Development Conference. Tomorrow, our common economic development interest and exchange opportunity will present itself at the start of the Plymouth County, Donegal, Sister County Transatlantic Climate Alliance Conference to be held at Bridgewater State University. We are privileged to be associated with our colleagues on the Donegal Council, and we want to thank them for their support of our mutual opportunity for economic development in the Climate Alliance economy to the benefit of all the constituents from our two great nations. So enjoy the evening. This is a night of faith, friends, and family. And I want to thank you all for coming and wish you sláinte. I don't have my beer, but at this time, to bring the greetings of the mayor, I would like to bring up the Honorable Mayor, Robert Sullivan, your host for the Transatlantic Conference. Thank you.
Well, good evening, everybody. I am just so proud to be here today. I want to thank Greg Hanley, a wonderful public servant. But a quick fact, Greg called me today. He's very, very nervous about today. He's put a lot of time and effort in this. But he said to me, hey, Bob, is Father Matt going to be there? I said, I think so. He's my parish priest in the Tri-Parish. Why? He said, well, you know what, I got to go to confession prior to tonight. So Father Matt, I don't know if you heard his confession yet, but there's going to be a Bushmill tasting right after this. So you might want to catch him before the Bushmill starts flowing. I want to welcome you, Mayor Kennedy, and wonderful people, the administration and team from Donegal. I want to thank Ambassador Claire Cronin and her family, Bobby Creedon, who is just an icon in public service here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I want to thank all the elected officials that are up here tonight and those that are in the audience. The city of Brockton owes a gratitude from the people of Ireland. Now, I stand here today with the last name of Sullivan, and as an Irish American, I'm proud to have my Irish citizenship through my grandmother and grandfather. My grandmother, Ann Hunt, came from Lacaro, Ballyhonus, up in Mayo, and my grandfather, Nick O'Sullivan, came from Villanstown, Cappoquin, and Waterford. My grandmother came over here at the age of 15 with no education. She stopped going to school in the 3rd grade, but the Irish never let people put them down. My father still has a No Irish Need Apply sign that my Nana had for generations, and we look at that quite often when we get together as a family. But this city of Brockton and this Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and I would say the United States of America, was built upon the hard work, determination, and love of family and faith that the Irish brought from the old country. Now, I am just so proud to be here today, and I want to thank Senator Pacheco and also Greg Hanley because of the fact that tonight is the start of a wonderful adventure. The partnership, which was a sister county agreement, is not unique in the United States. Sister city agreements, sister county agreements. But what is so beautiful about this is Plymouth County is the largest Irish population in the United States of America. It's also the oldest county in the United States of America. Now, it was mentioned that I'm not going to be mayor after January, I think it's 3rd. My wife will tell you what day it is exactly. But I can tell you that when I became mayor, unfortunately 6 weeks later we dealt with that deadly COVID pandemic. And Plymouth County stepped up. Plymouth County got millions of dollars that they gave to save lives under the CARES Act for the citizens of Brockton and beyond. And then when the ARPA money, and thank God for President Joe Biden, when the ARPA money came down, we got our federal tranche, but then Plymouth County stepped up again and gave us, the city of Brockton, the city of champions, over $17 million. So this is not just a wonderful gathering at Thorny Lea, and let's give a round of applause for the hard-working waiters and waitresses. But this is truly, really the catalyst for good things to come, not just for Donegal and Plymouth County, but I would venture to say for the United States of America and Ireland. Now, Claire Cronin and Claire McLaughlin went to the same elementary school as me, Whitman Elementary School. Now, who in the hell would think that someone from Brockton, Massachusetts would go on under President Biden and become the ambassador to Ireland? So let's give Claire a round of applause. Tomorrow we will all meet at Bridgewater State University, and a Brocktonian who was born here in the City of Champions, Fred Clark, is the president. We have to thank Fred for hosting us tomorrow. But really, tonight's night is to say thank you for the travelers coming over from Erie to hear tonight. We truly appreciate your efforts. I'm sorry about Senator Brady's poem. I'm not sure if that was generated by Mike himself or AI, but I will say this. You will always have a friend, many, many, many friends in the city of Brockton. We are better together. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our Commonwealth, our city, our country, and the Republic of Ireland. Thank you so much.
About a round of applause for Mayor Robert Sullivan, folks. Fantastic. So you've heard from the county, you've heard from the city, and now our next speaker owns this house right here. The chair of our host committee, Mr. William Callahan.
Just a couple of quick words. Greg put this thing together and he decided to do it here at Thorny Lea. And to our guests, this club celebrates the 125th anniversary of this club. It started a little bit of red clubhouse down the road here that my father was a member here, and we caddied here, a bunch of us. I don't know if there's too many young people in this room, but Kevin Murphy, raise your hand. Okay, we had caddies in this room. Where's Jacobs? Eddie Jacobs, you gonna raise your hand or not? Did he already leave? Somebody get his auction number quick. I want his auction. Laura, get Jacobs on that. If we don't have a bid, Jacobs is in. So anyhow, this club is 125 years. And just so you know, when I was a 6th grade trying to help my father out, the first tee was right over here. There were two main employees of the club. The pro was William Shields from Ireland, and his assistant pro, kind of run the shop, run the caddies and all that, was Grin Shields, no relation. And the two of them were like, Irish buddies. And back in the day, Bill Shields, we used to run on the golf course. He'd drive around at night, searching for caddies playing golf, sneaking out on like the back nine. So it's, I want to thank Jeff Chanel, who's here today, from Northeastern Savings Bank. And if you see him on the inside cover there, he says local banks support local charities. And Jeff Chanel lives to that word. And I want to especially thank Rich Campbell and all of the staff here at Thorny Lea that have worked
We started with 150, we're over 200 people, and they've done an amazing job, I think they have. Thank you very much. I look forward to the auction. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Callahan. It's my honor to begin this evening's honorees awards by bringing up a group of individuals who have played an amazing role in the Commonwealth, specifically here in Plymouth County. The next speaker that I'm inviting up is Mr. Richard D. McKinnon. He is the president of Professional Firefighters of Massachusetts. He's here. And I just want to talk about his leadership for one moment with Plymouth County. He is someone that has championed the cause of firefighters, and we as the county have joined forces with him on a mobile integrated health plan that he is championing amongst his paramedic firefighters with the county of Plymouth. It's a program that post-discharge you will have a visit, a well-being check to see that you were discharged properly and that you will recover and not have to return to the emergency room. And then if you've all known, if you've ever been to the hospital, what an experience at an emergency room can be all about. This is a way to alleviate that stress and a way to emphasize the professionalism of the professional firefighters in Massachusetts. He's been a great advocate and a good partner with the county. We're working together on E911 call system, and he's just a guy that, you know, had humble beginnings in Whitman, and he's grown through the ranks, and he's taken the PFM to the next level. Alongside of him is a friend of mine and a hero, quite frankly. Bill Hill is the president of Local 144, the firefighters local. He is one of us, folks, and let me tell you, a classy guy. Tonight, they're going to talk about our recipient, and I'll turn the microphone over to President Richard D. McKinnon, Jr. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg. I appreciate it. It's an honor for me to be here. Again, my name is Rich McKinnon, President of the Professional Firefighters of Massachusetts. We represent the over 13 firefighters across the state, full-time firefighters. And it's an honor for me to be here tonight in Brockton, along with my good friend and President Billy Hill, also serves on our executive board. You know, as firefighters, it's a unique job. And like the Irish heritage, it's steeped in tradition. And Massachusetts is home to the first of a lot of full-time fire departments, first of its kind, Boston being one of them. And when the job first came about, it didn't pay a lot, the benefits weren't good, the hours weren't good, and it was the Irish that stood up and took those jobs and agreed to take on the work of protecting the public in their homes, in their communities. And as times went on, it grew into generations, and it became a generational job. And like the strong will of the Irish, the job got better, the pay got better, the benefits got better, and then unions formed, which is where we are today. But we stand on a strong foundation, many which of generations of firefighters that are in this room. Many firefighters in this room, I myself am a third-generation firefighter. So we have a lot in common with the Irish. And the thing I love best about being a firefighter is no matter where I travel in the world, and it's not just me, it's any firefighter can walk into a firehouse in any part of the world, sit down at the kitchen table, and talk to those firefighters like they've known each other their whole life. That's the special bond and meaning of being a firefighter. And it's something that drives me every day to protect our firefighters. And we're honored to be here today. In our international, we do have a global alliance that Ireland is very much a part of, where we meet on a regular basis with our brother and sisters firefighters from across the world. And we're honored to be here, to be part of this. I think this is a great thing. And I'll now turn it over to Billy Hill. Billy?
Good evening, everybody, and and thank you for the honor of being here tonight. I just want to do a couple of quick things. I don't have any prepared statement. I'm just running off the cuff, kind of like when the bell hits, it's got to get the job done. So with that, first off, I want to recognize Peggy Cruz. You know, I've been a firefighter in the city for almost 30 years now, and any event we had, any fundraiser, she was always there. And on behalf of Local 144, I want to send my condolences to the family, and she's going to be sorely missed, but not forgotten. So I just wanted to recognize Peggy. Yeah. The second recognition, as Rich was stating, it's always a team effort in the firefighting world. So I want to recognize at my table tonight, members of my executive board, Michael McKenna, Scott Albanese, Juan Rios, and President Emeritus Archie Gormley. So a lot of people think Archie's Irish because he leads the pipe band. But he's actually an immigrant. He was born in Scotland, and he wanted the pipe band to play Scotland the Brave on the way in, but the band, he couldn't get enough cash to get him to do it. And my final recognition is to Greg Hanley. When he mentioned he was doing this, months back, obviously this was a big planning effort, and I was thinking about tonight. He was kind of like the field of dreams, build it and they will come. And I felt, that's what he did here. He kept, hard driving and making sure that this happened. So I want to thank our host, Greg Hanley, for all that he's done tonight. And I also wanted to make an announcement. I know this is a Transatlantic conference. So the city of Brockton has done this, we had members of the Cape Verde firefighting community come over, and train with us. And so I wanted to make the official announcement that we'll be going to Ireland to do, me and the mayor just talked, right, Mayor? Yeah. And he's coming with us. We'll be doing it. We'll be going over to Ireland for a little while, and the Irish guys will be coming over here filling shifts, and we'll do it by seniority. So I'm just kidding. But maybe I'll show up tomorrow and we can sit and talk about that. So, but with that, I'd like to recognize, a delegation from Ireland, and thank you for coming over here. We appreciate, everything that you've been doing to bring this, the Plymouth County and the Donegal County together. And thank you very much. He wants me to read this, so hold on. 10 years ago, I didn't need these. No, it's see-through. Perfect. From the professional firefighters in Massachusetts, presented to Gary Martin, celebrating the strong brotherhood and sisterhood of firefighters in Massachusetts and Ireland and throughout the world. May 21st, 2025, Richard McKinnon Jr., President.
Thank you very much. I'm not used to getting awards, to be honest with you. It's not what we normally do, but it's an honour to be recognised by, I suppose, a fellow emergency services directorate from another country for the work that we do as well. And my day job in the Irish Public Service, as the ambassador will tell you, they like to get good value for money. So instead of having one job, we end up with 3 or 4 different jobs. So one of my jobs as well as being Director of Economic Development for my county, I'm also Director of Emergency Services, and that includes the fire service. In Ireland, each county has its own fire service managed locally. They're not a full-time professional service, but they're a full-time retained service. And they are a great body of people, and everything that you heard about the camaraderie and the friendship and the companionship and the collectiveness of firefighters everywhere is what's is the same as what we have in Donegal. And they do put themselves forward every day to protect us in our respective communities, and I want to acknowledge that. And I suppose look, the award tonight is for them more so than myself, and a recognition of the work that they do every day for us. So thank you all so very, very much, and thank you for your welcome here today. Thank you.
About a round of applause. These guys are great, working every day. And I must say that the Brockton Pipe Band, I don't know if Chief Nardelli's here, we're going to approve all the overtime for what they had to do tonight without any impact bargaining, Mr. Mayor. Are you okay with that? An amazing group of individuals, and I have to acknowledge Peter Reardon and Archie Gormley for their work in spreading the pride of the fire service. And if you recall, the Strand Theater every year in this city is memorialized and recognized, and that group of individuals, along with the Public Safety Mass Father, these guys are incredible when it comes to the spirit. I don't know how you all felt when they got piped in, but I was pretty proud. So thank you for what you do, Billy and Rich. I appreciate you being here tonight. Our next recipient is someone that has been a part of the Plymouth County Donegal program since day one. She is being recognized tonight by the Old Colony Planning Council for the work that she's done internationally. And tomorrow, she and her colleagues will be presenting at the Transatlantic Climate Conference hosted by Senator Pacheco of Bridgewater State. And I want to at this time invite Mary Waldron, the Executive Director of the Old Colony Planning Council, to say a few words about our next recipient.
So I need a stool. I'm not as tall as the fire department. Good evening. My name is Mary Waldron, and I'm proud to be representing Rebecca Coletta, who is the president of the Old Colony Planning Council. I'm going to take a note, just as Bill Hill did. My husband, John, we used to work for Tommy Kennedy. I've always considered him as being like the quiet man. Peg Cruz was a quiet woman, worked behind the scenes, never looked for accolades, and in her honor was able to put some flags out at the cemetery. I'm gonna get and cried every time, because that's who she was. She loved Brockton, she loved her Irish heritage. So important that we honor her. It's amazing today with every one of the heritage being Irish. I'm a Polish girl from Chicopee who married an Irish boy. My daughter is half Irish. My grandson is a quarter Irish, so I'm very proud of all of that. But one more thing, when you were announcing Claire and some of her work, you mentioned her work in cancer. I, for one, personally grateful. Claire filed a bill when I went through my cancer myself. And for those of us, when you lose your hair and you have to renew your license, I didn't want my hair to be bald. And with her filing of legislation that got passed in 1 year, made that life, that quality of life, that much more dear. So thank you, Claire. But this is about Anne-Marie Conlon tonight. So representing the Old Colony Planning Council, we're like kindred sisters here. We have similar work, working on economic development, working on transportation, working on resiliency. And the important piece is that we just don't do it just ourselves. We work with our 17 communities that we have in the Old Colony Planning region, working from Plymouth to Brockton to Easton and Avon and all in between. So our work is very similar. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow's conference where we can talk about the things we're doing and how do we then blossom that work. So today, unfortunately, as I said, Becky Coletta is not able to be here, but the important work that's being done, it's a little bit behind the scenes, right? As much as I'm here before this microphone, which is not behind the scenes, but the important work of what's being done, and in a time where, right, things like climate change and resiliency are not words that you want to say publicly, particularly where we are today. And that's not being political, it's just being reality. But the important piece is that you continue that work. And I believe that what is being done in Donegal, what is being done here in the United States, and in particular in Old Colony Planning Council, is furthering that effort. And I think that there is this, as Senator Pacheco has talked about with that Transatlantic, is so critical, whether it's done here or we can all learn from each other. So it is with today that Greg has this award, and I do have my glasses on, Bill Hill, because it's transparent. Thank you. Oh boy, you're right. This is, all right. This is presented to Anne Marie Conlon, Head of the Economic Development with the Donegal County Council, in recognition of her work in presenting economic development opportunities in the blue-green economy and the Transatlantic Climate Alliance Conference with the County of Plymouth and the Old Colony Planning Council on this day, May 21st.
I'm absolutely thrilled and very surprised, I have to say. I didn't know that Niamh and Gary were getting an award. I didn't realise I was going to be getting one, so I feel very humbled. And I also think a lot of the words that Mary has just shared with us this evening rings so true for me, and in terms of the work that we do. And everything we do in terms of economic development, you can't do it on your own. It has to be done in a collaborative way. We have to be building partnerships, we have to be building alliances. And this alliance and this partnership with Plymouth County really speaks to, I suppose, our values and the focus that we would like to, that we are developing and we would like to continue to develop in the county, particularly in terms of looking at how we can build our own natural resources, how we can support that circular economy, and how we can ensure that our sustainable development is at the very centre of all our work going forward. So thank you again. I'm really humbled, and like Gary said, I certainly don't do this work on my own, so I'll be accepting this on behalf of my own team in Donegal County Council, and of course our director Gary Martin as well. So thank you very much, everyone.
The next group that I'd like to introduce you to is a group that does so much charitable work in Plymouth County. They are mighty, but they are small, but their footprint is large. I would like to introduce the Ancient Honorable Order of Hibernians, Division 9 from Father John Murphy. I know I said it all backwards, I'm just a plebe. So I'll be getting a paddle later, right, Mr. Travers? Yeah. Thank you, sir. May I have another? I'm in trouble. You think it's easy? The president of our association is a gentleman who is part of the Father John Murphy Order of Hibernians in Plymouth, Mass. A proud dual citizen of Ireland and the United States. He is the grandson of Irish and Italian immigrants whose courage and sacrifice continue to inspire his work. For over a decade, Michael has been an active and passionate member of the community spirit of the South Shore. He lives in Plymouth with his wife Megan and their two children, Jack and Maggie, and recently launched the Irish cultural podcast Crack on the Coast to further celebrate and share the stories of the Irish-American experience. His colleague will be joining him, Mr. Attorney John L. Sullivan, proud son of Scituate, the most Irish town in America, where he lives with his wife, Una, and their daughter, Sorsha. John graduated from Stonehill College and New England School of Law and has practiced law in Situate for over 40 years. He's involved in the following organizations: Board of Directors of Plymouth County Bar Association, Father John Murphy Division 9 Plymouth, Ancient Order of Hibernians, the National Board of Freedom for All Ireland Committee, Ancient Order of Hibernians Situate/West Cork Sister County Group, the South Shore Irish Heritage Trail, Board of Directors of the Erie Society of Boston. John Days in America, just biding time between his visits home to Ireland. So with that, and without further ado, I'd like to bring up the leadership of the Ancient Order of Hibernians to award the Irishman of the Year.
First, I would just like to say, on behalf of the Ancient Order of Hibernians, Father John Murphy Division, that we are honored to be involved with the Sister County program. It has been something that we take a lot of pride in. When Greg came to us and asked us if we wanted to be the cultural liaison for this agreement, it was something that we took very seriously, and we take very seriously that we represent the entire county of Plymouth, which includes the city of Brockton. For people that don't know, the Ancient Order of Hibernians is the oldest Irish Catholic organization in the country. It was founded to protect Irish immigrants and the clergy when they would come over during the famine and preceding the famine. It is something that has evolved into celebrating our Irish culture, our heritage, and the bond that we have here and back at home in Ireland. It's something we hold very dear and very seriously. In that tone, we are very proud to give out the inaugural Irish Man and Irish Woman of the Year awards on behalf of the Father John Murphy Division. What we describe in that award can very simply be stated in what the award represents and what it depicts. Now I have to take my glasses off. Hold up the award statues. So the award statues that we have put together presenting this evening is a replica of the iconic Pikeman statue in Wexford, a powerful tribute to the men and women of the 1798 rebellion who rose in defiance of tyranny and in pursuit of justice and freedom. Among the most revered figures of that rising was Father John Murphy of Boulevard, a priest, leader, martyr, whose courage in the face of overwhelming odds became a rallying cry for Irish patriots then and ever since. As members of the Father John Murphy Division, this statue resonates deeply with us. It stands not only as a symbol of resistance and Irish pride, but as a reminder of our namesake's legacy. A legacy rooted in faith, sacrifice, and the conviction that ordinary people can shape history. The pikeman's raised pike is not merely a weapon. It is a statement of courage, of standing up for one's people, and of service to a greater cause. That spirit lives on in the individuals that we honor tonight. Both Robert Creedon and Ambassador Claire Cronin have shown through their distinguished careers what it means to lead with conviction, to serve with humility, and to carry forward the values of the Irish people in their everyday lives. Whether in a courtroom, a legislative chamber, or on the world stage, they have embodied the same unwavering dedication that defined Father Murphy and the rebels of '98. To present this statue to them is not only to recognize their accomplishments, it is to place them in a long and noble tradition of those who rise not for personal glory, but for community, for justice, and for heritage. We are proud to honor them, and through this symbol, connect their service to the enduring story of Ireland and of our division. Right now, I'll let my brother Hibernian John Sullivan present the Irishman of the Year Award.
Thank you, Mike. Just before I say a few words, I want to acknowledge all the incredible work that Greg Hanley put into tonight to draw to honor the County Donegal delegation, but also to recognize some extraordinary people in our midst. And first, I'm going to be introducing the representative and the honoree who's, many would say, is a member of the first family of Brockton, Robert Creedon. It's my great honor to present this year's Irishman of the Year Award to someone whose life has been defined by service to his community, to the Commonwealth, and to his heritage. Robert Creedon, as Clerk of Courts in Brockton and Plymouth County, has upheld the highest standards of justice and integrity, all the while never forgetting the values instilled by his Irish roots. Whether in the courtroom or in the community, he leads with humility, compassion, and a deep commitment to others. On behalf of the Father John Murphy Division of the Ancient Order of Hibernians, please join me in congratulating Robert Creedon as our 2025 Irishman of the Year.
Thank you, John. Actually, I never needed microphones, but Greg Hanley said to me, "Look, Rob, we have guests from Ireland coming over, and you're the go-to guy. I want to do something that make them feel at home. You've got friends up above, too." And I think I do. So I made a brief little prayer, and I brought you some Irish weather. We've got rain, cold, drizzle, and miserable. But before I forget, amongst the honorees here, my dear friend Claire, who replaced my life love, Geraldine, in the House. When I was a young kid in '69 running for rep, I went to her house, and her dad, who was a lawyer, answered the door. And he says, I want to talk to you. Well, I had run an ad on no-fault insurance, and her dad was a prominent lawyer, and that was a no-no. So he proceeded to lecture me for I don't know how long. And he concluded by saying, "Now wait a minute, stay here." I did. He came back out with his checkbook and gave me a $100 check for my campaign. Now that's '69. $100, what, Greg? What, $10 million now. And as we know, we Irish sociologists claim we come from a matriarchal society. And it's true. Mike and I were in Ireland, and of course, the family real estate office was always the Callahans, his father and his uncle. So Michael and I, my wife and Mike's wife picked us up at Logan Airport. And we're heading back to Brockton. We're going over to the Ponset River. And Geraldine says to me, "Rob, you know that house you liked on West Elm Street? That big English Tudor?" I said, "Yeah. We're going to own it." I said, "Well, yeah. How are we going to do that?" She says, "Well, I signed your name and my name to a purchase and sale agreement with Sarah Callahan. Now all you got to do is pay for it." But I look around this room, and our original MC, your dad, Troy Clarkson's father, was my classmate, and he was elected most handsome fellow in the senior class. After you, right. But one of the things you learn in politics is be brief and be gone, and I shall be. One thing I did want to say, though, before I sit down is, and before I look at my daughter Jennifer over there, who has her mother's skills, she went like this. That means bye-bye. But this, I want to thank the Hibernians, and especially the Charity Guild, for the work they do in the city. On 2 weeks ago Friday, we went to the Mary Baker School, and they had, my wife started this program called the Mother's Day Project. And they take second graders and they pick up gifts for their mothers. But that's the kind of work they do, and they're wonderful. So welcome to our friends from Ireland. Donegal is one parts of Ireland that's still Irish. In fact, I asked Jackie Buckley, not you, but Jack was about 78 when I went first over there. I've been to Ireland about 50 times. And I said, Jack, why did my grandfather ever leave this country? It's gorgeous, it's beautiful. He said, Bobby, you couldn't be eating the scenery. God bless you all. Thank you for that.
Jake, I'd like you to say a few words of the word on behalf of your brother, please.
Jake, just a few. By the way, how did you get that picture in the program? You look about 15.
First of all, Donegal constituency, in Omanaha, in August of Vic, in August of Perennial. Every Sunday in 386 Crescent Street, we started our dinner with blessings in Gaelic, now known universally in Ireland as Irish. Okay? I must make a couple of confessions. One is that all of the Cretans, we are Cork people.
Up Cork, up Cork.
And we did a toast every Sunday, up Cork. My father, my mother, and all of the 5 brothers. I have, again, I need my glass of Billy Hill. And I did want to make a little housekeeping first. I don't know if George Carney and Tish are here. Yeah, excuse me, no. If George Carney and Tish are here, they came all the way up here, okay, to honor Brother Rob and Claire. Claire, congratulations, well deserved. I have about, and you know, they're going to close this place up in 1 more minute. So all of these notes I have about my brother took us, who were never separated at the hip. Archie Gormley, you know that. You see us all the time. Local 144, we deal with all the time. They're the best, all of them. Billy Hill. I'll do it quick, because it is 9 o'clock, as best I can. Rob and I, when I first went to the 1st grade, Rob and I are both octogenarians, okay? And I think only George Carney was the only one in the 90s. But anyway, I left at Sprague School, the east side of Brockton, when we grew up, every single day for 2 weeks. The principal sent Rob out to bring me back, and he did. We then both became patrol boys, but he was a leader way back then. They made him a lieutenant and then a captain. I think Bob Sullivan, my mayor, you know that. If you have a little bit of talent, especially in the east side, where people really didn't go on to become great, great people until Rob and I and just a couple other people. But in any event, we regret it. Yeah, we certainly regret it. Again, as I said, we never were separated at the hip, for sure. We then went on to Boston College, where luckily for me, I see Senator Brady now. Luckily for me, I was in upper campus in a regular BC house, I'm sure like you were, Bob. But Brother Rob, because he was favored by the president of the college, we were in O'Connell Hall, which was the premier, it's like the President's Club at Boston College. So although I had a room in the upper campus, we spent the whole 4 years, or my 4 years and his 2 years together. We then met most of our friends that were out-of-state people. And that's the first entrepreneurial venture we took. we met up with Danny Tennessito from New York, whose father was a millionaire, and Benny Benedetto Sorelli from Rhode Island. And Benny was the so-called, at that time, the president of the Rhode Island Club, okay? Which was kind of a fraud drama. We eventually both became president, but we, because we were from the east side of Brockton, had at our disposal all of our black friends had the 2 black bands in Brockton. So we hired the hotel in Boston every Friday night for 2 years and ran mixers. They were, you know, guys and gals get together. They called them mixers in those days. Rob and I made more money then than we have as lawyers. It was just incredible. That was our first entrepreneurial situation, Greg.
Don't tell them what the money.
No, you know, politically clear. Father Dryden at the time was president of the law school. He went on to become a congressman, as you know. And Father Carroll was a disciplinarian that lived in O'Connell Hall with us, okay? And you had to be cleared in those days to get what was going on, or you would be suspended. So when we had that entrepreneurial venture and made that money, the fire department from the city of Boston called the president of the college and Father Carroll and said, look, you're overcrowding, you're violating the law. So Father Carroll came to Rob and I and Danny and Benny and said, knock it off. You will not get recommendation letters to go to law school. That was the end of our real adventure where we made a ton of money. I'm going to cut through a lot about, you know. I want to say in conclusion, my goddaughter Jennifer and Patrick, my nephew, and Marge Moan, Mike's widow, thank you for coming. But in conclusion, for me, our friends, and all the people, including the Charity Guild, which I give to every year, as they know, because of his wife, Geraldine, and now because of Marge Moan, that Rod has not only been the most charitable guy in the city of Brockton from a job point of view. A mayor, a state rep, a senator, nobody can have given more jobs, lifetime jobs, to people than this guy right here.
I hope the vlog on how he got around here.
Howie was not our great friend, but we knew him. In conclusion, clearly, and I will conclude, Greg, you know, I could go on for 75 years, I could go on forever, but in conclusion, he is a lifetime charitable, personal, and political guy. And congratulations, Rod. Yes.
Jake, tell the joke.
Thank you, Mr. Creedon. And Jake, Netflix just called. They said the 7-part series. They're ready to sign you up. So thank you very much.
Greatest program we've ever seen.
For our next recipient, for someone that has performed on the world stage, we felt that it needed a comment from someone on our national stage. Unfortunately, our national president, Sean Pender, was not able to attend the evening, but he did send his kind words, and I will read those. The AOH is an organization that since its creation in 1836 has a deep commitment to freedom for all of Ireland's 32 counties, as well as to justice for victims of British state injustice. In the old days, too often it seemed to us and Irish American activists that the U.S. State Department staff deferred to Britain on Irish issues. That changed with the idea of a U.S. Special Envoy for Northern Ireland, which was, by the way, first proposed by an AOH member assemblyman, John Derry, and raised to then candidate Bill Clinton, and an Irish American presidential forum by Boston Mayor Ray Flint. The special envoy would be someone who could get beyond the biases within the then State Department staff. That proposal led to the appointment of Senator George Mitchell, the achievement of the historic Good Friday Agreement. When Claire Cronin was nominated as ambassador to Ireland by President Biden, the AOH was contacted by members who knew her from her Irish community events and from her leadership on Irish issues in the State Assembly. We heard from our friends in Congress, such as Congressman Bill Keating. All of them said that Claire Cronin, like George Mitchell, would be an independent leader in her position and protect the Good Friday Agreement. They were right, and I saw this within months of her appointment. A few months after her appointment, I led a delegation of AOH and LAOH leaders to Ireland. We had met with relatives of victims of British state and asked to meet with Ambassador Cronin. We met people, including children and teenagers, who were arbitrarily denied holiday visas to America because their parents or even grandparents were former Irish political prisoners in the 70s and 80s in a conflict that is now long over. Ambassador Cronin did meet with our group. The fact that she had met us and listened opened doors for us, especially with the U.S. Consulate in Belfast. For that meeting and what it meant to relatives of legacy injustice or visa denial, and for all you did since then as national president of the AOH, and particularly on behalf of our members in Massachusetts, I want to thank you and applaud you today. And I know our AOH members in the room will make up for my absence in applauding you as well. Sean Pender.
Thank you. I will treasure this. I had the great fortune of being appointed as the U.S. Ambassador to Ireland by President Biden. When I went to Ireland, it felt like home immediately to me. It had been growing up in Brockton, very proud of my Brockton roots. So when I went to Ireland, I found a people that were also proud of their own roots. I remember early on in my tenure, I had a State Department person, as we all know how they can be, who said, you have to stop talking about Boston and Brockton. And I said, I will never do that. And I said, I think people like it because the people here care about their own community in the same way we do where I grew up. So my heart was in Brockton, and then my heart became part of Ireland as well in the time there. Tonight, as I thank you, I do have to, once again, we have all talked about Peggy Cruz tonight, but it's also the whole Cruz family, the Cruz Kennedy family, who for so many years served our community so well. Peggy, I would almost use the word omnipresent when I speak of Peggy, because Peggy was always there, maybe in the background, but she always showed up, and she would be horrified to know that we were all speaking of her tonight, because she was so humble, so kind, and just such a good, empathetic person. And she had what I call the Irish. She was Irish through and through and represented what I view the Irish people as being: kind, empathetic, smart, caring, a value system that values family, values religion, values democracy. And today, our democracy is being challenged. Make no mistake, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you are on. Everything that is happening today with our courts and our institutions, people must pay attention. I'm especially happy to welcome our friends from Donegal. From my granddad was from the Inishowen Peninsula, and I can't think how happy he and my father would be to know that we had the Cahirlick from the Donegal County Council and Anne-Marie Conlin from the Economic Council here in our hometown. So welcome, and I hope you enjoy it. I'm very proud to show you what we have here. But on a more important and economic note, I also have to say this. There were some people who may have believed that when the Plymouth County delegation was going over to have a county agreement with a sister county in Donegal, some may have thought it was a junket. But I will dispute that. So one of the first things that you need to know tonight is that Ireland is, well, I'm going to go back a little. When I came to Ireland in February of 2022, Ireland was the 9th largest foreign direct investor in the United States. Think of that. A country of 5 million people, fewer people than in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The 9th largest foreign direct investor in the United States. Fast forward 3 years, when I came home, Ireland became the 6th largest foreign direct investor in the United States. The opportunities are here, they exist. I'm excited about the conference tomorrow because the opportunities for our two countries, there are a million reasons for Irish companies to want to invest in America. But there are also a million reasons for US companies to want to invest in Ireland. Ireland has a highly educated workforce. They are the only English-speaking language in the EU. They have certainty in their court systems, and just an awful lot of reasons that people want to go there. There are over close to 1,000 US companies that call Ireland their global home. And now, as we see, the people in Donegal are coming here. In Donegal, you know, it's not all about Dublin. Dublin is fantastic, but all throughout the island of Ireland, the opportunities exist. And I can't wait to see what comes out of the conference tomorrow and to see the sister county relationship flourish over years to come. So welcome, we're delighted you're here. And I want to thank everyone. There are too many people to thank here. The elected officials. Greg did yeoman's work putting this all together. Absolutely fabulous. But a big shout out to everyone who participated and all of you tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you.